Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Katie.
Few poop.
What?
Few poop.
I'm listening.
It's a word that translates from German literally to little horn, although colloquially refers to very tiny dogs that yelp when you trip over them.
Wait,
I know this dog.
specifically when you trip over them.
Yes.
Wendy.
Yes.
Few poop.
Definitely Wendy. That's very interesting.
Wow. Now we can start integrating that into our everyday conversation.
Can you say it one more time?
Few poop.
Pew pew. Okay. Keep going.
I like it when you said it.
And I'm Cameron.
Thank you, Cameron.
Use the hashtag Geeks Corner to talk at us in English because that's the extent of my German.
Although, if you do know any German, I will say our social media coordinator on Tuesday nights did take 4 years of German, and I think has her
So, tweet us in
seal.
German, and she's going to translate it in the retweet.
Biliteracy seal makes
She
me
just
think
said
of a seal
yes.
that can
She's
speak
shaking her
German.
head really big up and down, and it'll be
I was
great.
like, to be fair, she took 4 years of German. I don't know how much of that she retained.
I took 5 years of French. Same thing.
Huh?
Huh?
Oh, college. I was like, how'd you do that for 5 years? High school's not 5 years long, kids.
Anyway,
It's not.
Are you sure?
Did I do it wrong?
Some
Sophomore
of us
year is
in
the best 2
northern
years of my
Minnesota.
I feel like you would do it in 3 years, though. You're like, oh yeah, most people did like 4 years of high school. I did it in 3.
I will admit I didn't do much of my senior year.
Didn't you go to France your senior year?
Yeah.
Is that all you did with your senior year was go to France?
And dissected a cow.
A whole cow?
Shot off a cannon.
We did pigs at ours.
We did
we
those
did-
too, but that was earlier.
Frogs?
Frogs were like
Frogs
freshmen.
I never
there,
did
yeah.
it. I never
Freshmen.
did
Maybe
it.
it was 8th grade. I don't remember.
Say we did like also a cat's heart or something, but I was never in a biology class that like dissected anything. I was kind of disappointed.
That
That's a
was
travesty.
never my favorite project. It was always the physics class, which was
Never took physics.
the final was you could only use cardboard and duct tape, and you had to get from one side of the pool to the other.
Our AP physics class did that.
They didn't say how big or small it could be.
Yeah, that's no problem.
We made a tarp that covered the whole pool.
That's
Of
the way you
duct tape.
should do it.
We walked across.
Why not?
We won.
I would assume
Good.
so. Well played. All right. Moving right along.
Choo choo.
Today is a very special day.
Yeah.
And why is it special, guys?
What day is today?
It's Tuesday.
It
It's
is
the day we do
Tuesday.
Geeks Corner. It's very
Tuesday, September
10th.
10th. What happens on September 10th?
You eat cake and eat cheese.
We did do that.
You experienced the second palindromius date, and in a series of the final palindromius dates you'll ever experience in your life.
Okay,
Yeah.
keep going.
Definitely.
It is Gibraltar National Day, by the way.
What?
As in the right of Gibraltar?
I think The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson?
What?
Gibraltar Day. if you were to live in China, it's actually Teacher's Day.
But
Only Chinese
not in
Teachers Day.
America.
Yeah, that's
We don't
You must
appreciate our
speak
teachers
Mandarin
here.
or Cantonese to have Teachers Day today.
Yep, that is true.
Although we appreciate the teachers here at Geeks Corner.
They use the same writing. Both
If we're
Mandarin
going to go
and
more
Cantonese.
random, which is more of our style, it's National Swap Ideas Day.
Perfect. That's what we do here anyway.
Also National TV Dinner Day.
About that. Remember the Casey Kids dinners with the penguin
I do.
Yes.
Actually,
and the brownie?
specifically, when he said TV dinner, that's what I thought
Yeah,
of.
like
also-
the blue box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's what's
you're going to
up.
have to interpret this for me. It's also National Ants on a Log Day. Is that...
The celery
yeah,
with
like
peanut butter and
raisins.
Okay,
raisins.
so it's not being
It tastes
lazy.
awful, but you
I was
know.
gonna say I don't like celery or raisins,
No.
but
That
It
peanut
is
butter.
also
Just eat the peanut butter
International Bret Iwan Day.
International
Whoa!
Bret Iwan Day.
The Bret Iwan.
It is Bret Iwan's birthday.
The way you said it made him sound like International Bret Iwan Man of Mystery.
Yep, I was going that
He
direction
is.
too.
If you were to look on his Instagram, the voice of Mickey Mouse has a picture in his story of him in a tux, and he could be a man of mystery.
International Man of Mystery.
International
Domestic man of
Thank you.
mystery. Bret Iwan.
Does not need a
The
passport. Man of
domesticated
Mystery.
international. I don't know. He's really.
No, that's Pharrell Williams.
He's. That was really loud. Good for you. Anyway, happy birthday, Brett. We wish you were here, but we know that you would rather be with family than with geeks. So we completely understand But Katie liked to be with Geeks on her birthday, so I don't know. Anyway, we
true.
wish you the very best of birthdays and hope you have a fantastic day with the fam. And while you're at it, go on Instagram and leave a... I think he's doing the story thing today. So,
Yeah, he has been.
tag him in a story and wish him happy birthday with the hashtag Geeks Corner.
Yeah.
And he will know that he's appreciated.
When tagging, remember to hold the spray bottle closer to the wall for neatness and lines, although if you pause for too long, it's going to cause a dripping effect. Now, that might be intentional. Some artists prefer to have a slight dripping effect, like Miles Morales in Into the Spider-Verse when he did his outline across his own body.
So, that's true.
You haven't seen that film.
I'm
Shameful.
trying to fix this.
Shame.
Luke, do you have the ability to pull from Twitter?
Photographs.
Look at this graph.
We're
Oh
gonna.
no.
I don't know.
The internet. Taking over.
We are going. I'm gonna
took
do
the
it the
blue
old-fashioned way.
Ooh, the old-fashioned
Yeah,
way.
I'm gonna look it up on Twitter.
Old-fashioned glazed Twitter.
Well, back in the olden days. of Twitter.
Country Farm remembers the old-fashioned Twitter.
That is true.
180 characters
I feel
or
like
less.
this
Twitter.
meme needs to be shared. So it says, it's a picture of Katie and Bret Iwan, voice of Mickey Mouse, and Katie says,
That's his
"I'm
full
going
name.
to destroy the competition," and Bret Iwan is giving a look of really.
Yes.
So I'm gonna walk up here.
It's true. It's a good meme for his birthday.
Birthday meme.
Thank you.
It's a birthday meme. We're doing a birthday meme. Birthday meme.
Apparently, we now have a theme song for the birthday meme.
Wait, but do we normally have birthday memes?
We do now, I guess. Thank you, Bailey. That was a good one.
But
All right, so
So attention, not turning over.
it's been a busy week
Run, 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 run.
at the Disneyland Resort, mainly because Halloween time has arrived.
Spooky!
There you go. And
That's their theme this year.
it seems to be.
Spooky!
So one of the
Say it
things
like
we
that.
talk about every year on Geeks Corner, we've been talking about it for many years.
Star Wars.
That too.
Star Wars Halloween special.
That goes back to like the first episode. But another thing that came up really early was the Gingerbread house
Gingerbread
at the
house.
Haunted Mansion.
Yes.
For years, we have requested at the exit of the Haunted Mansion gingerbread to accompany the gingerbread house so that we can eat it instead of just smell it. Didn't happen this year. However, what did happen is they made a really cool gingerbread house
nice.
in the Haunted Mansion that is the Haunted Mansion in the Haunted Mansion celebrating its 50th anniversary,
Very
while the Haunted
Inception.
Mansion is celebrating its 50th anniversary outside, but it's also inside.
Yo, man, I heard you like Haunted Mansion, so I put a Haunted Mansion in your Haunted Mansion so you can Haunted Mansion while you Haunted Mansion.
See, you went that
was
direction.
good.
I was going that Cobb was running through the room, but he wasn't actually in the room. He was asleep in the room
fair.
with Leota. And
That's fair.
Also good. So what do you think about this gingerbread?
It's so nice.
it's chunky.
It's.
It is massive.
I love that
You've
they
got a point.
have the house, but then they also have little cookies
That are the ghosts.
that are the little ghosties on the table. I think it's very nice.
I don't expect you to have an answer for this, but do you have a favorite gingerbread house through the years? Because there's been quite a few of them.
I liked that. Yeah, last year had moving components,
Is that the one that opened? It was the Iron Maiden. That might be
And there was
mine.
wasn't it the arm?
and there was also a spider moving.
Yeah.
there was like a spider coming.
The Iron Maiden one, I think, was mine.
Okay,
That's mine. Because there was like candy cane spikes inside.
I remember that.
I did.
There was an Oogie Boogie one a couple years ago too, wasn't there?
There's been so many.
I actually think this year is my favorite just because I'm a fan. If I had my way, Haunted Mansion Holiday would start with the holiday season on
Yes.
November 14th or whatever it is, and they'd start it after Halloween.
I agree.
Because Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie that starts on Halloween.
Yes.
And I think it would be amazing if you could have
Haunted Mansion
regular
Homicide.
Haunted Mansion right now, and then on the night after Halloween or Halloween night, Haunted Mansion closes down. They do the revamp, and 2 weeks later, whenever it is, Maddie's thinking about this.
She's
2 weeks
considering
later,
it.
Haunted Mansion Holiday starts, and then they keep it all the way through to spring break. So it goes longer into January and probably part of February.
Spring
And
break's like April.
so into March. I don't care. Like, I just think it'd be more fun to divide it up that way than...
Yeah, I agree. But I do like that it's paying homage to Haunted Mansion Classic.
And that's what I love about it this year.
Like a Pepsi Classic. Pepsi.
Another thing I really love
Pepsi.
about it this year is the ghosts aren't staying in the Haunted Mansion. In fact, they are coming out into New Orleans Square. So on Sunday night, we met the hitchhiking ghosts.
Yes.
We also met Constance. And then the night after, Stephen and Caitlin met Sally Slater, otherwise known as the tightrope walker.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start off, we're just going to go through our experience. Because
Yes.
I feel like that's the best way to do this. Is
Sure.
we saw on social media that the ghosts were out.
Yes.
So we went to check it out.
We went very quickly.
We went
mind
very
you.
quickly. All the way from DCA.
As it, we were on the exact opposite side of the park. We saw there were ghosts. And we did what most people don't do when they hear there are ghosts, and we ran towards it.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't watched enough Ghost Adventures.
We aren't afraid of no ghosts.
My name is Zach Baggins, and these are my ghost adventures.
I just
Did you hear
Maddie's
that?
mind. That was great.
If you're here, say something.
At this moment, we heard something.
Yeah,
It sounded like this.
it's every episode.
As you can see, they clearly said my name.
Aren't all those shows exactly the same?
They aren't, but
Whether
this
it's
one's
Ghost
better
Hunters,
because he
Ghost
wears Ed
Adventures.
Hardy and his hair is spiked.
But it's Ed Hardy, but it's Ed Hardy like 2 sizes too small.
Yeah, oh,
and he's wearing like bedazzled
and
jeans.
there's a guy that looks like me but balder,
I love
and
him.
that they forced to go do all
Wait,
the things.
Is this Ghost Hunters or
Ghost Adventures,
Ghost
with Zach
Adventures.
Baggins.
Okay.
Zach Bilbo Baggins.
But his
Bilbo
name is
Baggins.
Aaron, and Aaron is like the big teddy bear. And they're like, hey, this ghost is known to push people downstairs.
We
Hey,
locked Aaron next to the stairs. We put Aaron in a body bag.
Stephen makes a really good point, and he says the danger of creating the Haunted Mansion gingerbread house in the Haunted Mansion is that there has to be a Haunted Mansion gingerbread house inside the Haunted Mansion gingerbread house, and of course, that one needs an even smaller house. It just keeps on shrinking.
Yes.
It's kind of like a Doctor Who episode, but yes.
Yes, it just.
Haunted Mansions all the way down.
Yes.
I was about to say
Anyway, we made our way over to New Orleans Square, got in line. The hostess was very kind and said, we are not going to guarantee what spirit you will meet, but you will meet a spirit from the Haunted Mansion. And we're like, okay, that's cool, whatever. And so we walked around the corner, and it was Constance Hatchaway.
because she.
She has a hatchet, which she is carrying, by the way. And I would say she's a very lovely lady, but she's not. She was terrifying. Like, I am not a huge character person. Like,
At all.
I don't really know how to interact with them, and I don't get it completely. I appreciate them. I think they do a great job, and it's fun. But I walked up to her, and she was threatening to kill me multiple times in different ways with her hatchet and her... And I literally did not know what... Like, there's video of it. I don't know how much of my audio it caught.
She threatened to kill you several times.
Yeah.
It really sounds like she had an axe to grind.
Keep going. We should have had Luke and you on the show tonight and done Pun Wars. That would have been great.
The thing is, I do know how to interact with characters. Even though I met like Maleficent earlier on Sunday, and the whole time I was like, I don't know what to say to her. Like, I'm gonna be really awkward. We got up, we had a conversation. Constance, I literally was like, please don't kill me. And then at one point,
She was terrifying.
Mr. Dapp said, he went ahead of us. He said, I'm going to take some photos. And I almost said, hey, be careful because men don't really last long around her. But then I was like, I'm afraid to say that around her because she's going to go after me. And then she said, are you with him? And I was like, I don't know, am I? Like, I was scared to answer. And I like...
It was one of the few times I've legitimately been afraid of a character.
She was intimidating.
She...
Like, very.
Brilliant. Like... It was one of
Yeah.
the most terrifying character experiences in a good way that I've ever seen. And it wasn't forced in any way. And she literally just kept going, like,
Let's say-
everything I said, she would have a comeback that ended up with me dead.
Well, and the scary thing was that...
She killed him right then. Yeah.
On camera.
This is a ghost. Exclusive. No.
News.
Mr. Daps found dead. No, we tried to say goodbye. It's like when a Ouija board, you have to say goodbye. But we tried to make some lighthearted joke. And we said, bye. We'll stop by the Haunted Mansion sometime. Mr. Daps tried to laugh and walk away. She's like, yes, come by. You might be there forever. And I was like, ah! It was scary.
So then we got back in line.
Yeah, we did it again.
The hope being is that the characters would switch out and we get somebody else that might let us...
She dematerialized.
Yes, and she did. And so instead we got to meet the hitchhiking ghosts. Phineas, Gus, and
Ezra.
And they were completely hilarious, delightful, fun, whimsical. You name it. They liked my hat. I was a happy camper, and they could follow me home anytime. Like, they were just a blast.
One of them didn't have a hat, so they got a little bit jealous. But
he had the
ball and chain, which I thought was very funny because
he's married.
I guess maybe he was married to Constance.
He had a head still.
I don't know ghost physics.
Nearly headless
Harry
Nick.
Potter.
We went to the same place.
Well, that's where ghost physics come from. Anyway, keep going.
That's where ghost physics were invented. Same way time travel rules were invented.
1876, like invented in Hogwarts.
Yes. Anyway, no, I thought it was very fun. I liked them a lot. I think the best part was that we all walked away with like a different favorite that we had met.
Yeah. We were all talking about it afterwards, and we all had different moments and different favorites, and they were just hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Which one? What did you think was the best about that?
I like watching your guys' reaction with Candace.
It was so scary.
Yeah, that was pretty terrifying. It was ridiculously awkward, and the video's up if you want to watch it.
Yeah, and I think you can actually hear when she says to me, "Are you in this wedding party?" And I go, and I'm like looking back and forth. Like, I think that's on the video.
What do we do?
There's a vine of a woman coming around the corner. Yep, that's one. That's I assume the noise.
Real?
Yes.
Yes. No, that was me.
Anyway, if you get the chance, stop by, see the ghosts. You'll have a blast. Halloween Screams is back and for the public this year. With your price of admission or annual pass to get into the parks, you can now watch this show. It's running every night, but fireworks are only on the weekend.
Yes.
For the last about 10 years, it's been only during Halloween parties, unless the weather forced it to the next night, which worked in our favor a couple of times, but basically you had to go to a Halloween party to see it. How does this fireworks show rate compared to the other ones, do you guys think?
It's up there.
How far?
Second or third.
After?
I'm partial to the 60th because that was my indoctrination.
So Disneyland Forever, and then Halloween Screams,
and then Julie Andrews, and
Remember,
then,
and
then
I think that's reasonable.
See, I would say Happily Ever After, Remember Dreams Come True, and maybe Halloween Screams.
Remember Dreams.
Do you remember?
You remember them?
Remember this?
Remember Dreams? They come true.
There you go.
Yeah. It's very good. It has a very good storytelling element, and it's a very quick show, but it doesn't feel quick at all.
I just think it's fun, and it gets lots of audience participation. Like, it amazes me that 10 years later, I think it was it 2009 it first came out? 10 years later, the part where he yells, "Everybody scream," literally, we were right in front of the castle, and you could hear all of Main Street up to the castle start screaming.
It almost felt like Chalk Walk Morning when people just scream.
And that was a really cool moment, and it's a lot of fun. Make sure you catch it before the end of Halloween time, so you got 2 months. But it's a good show, and definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Other show worth checking out, Musical Celebration of Coco, is happening over at Plaza de Familia. This just is the most charming. It is such a fun show, and the marionette or puppet of Miguel is just ridiculously awesome. I love this show. Cameron, what do you think of it? You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I love the show. It reminds me of the Broadway Timon puppet. Mm-hmm. It's a very similar build, but it's extremely expressive, and it's fun to see the intentional interactions between him and the dancing ladies on the other side. They interact very well. It's I think my favorite part of the show.
And it's such a good choice to use the puppet instead of a fuzzy character.
Yeah.
Because the expressive thing, I think you nailed it, is really what makes it come to life. And he's really fun to watch. What do you think of the show?
Well, and he's proportionate, I think, is a big thing that sometimes with costumed characters you kind of miss proportions, and Miguel is a little boy and he's surrounded by adults.
He is small.
He's small boy. My favorite part of the show is the dancing skeletons that are also, I guess you could call them puppets.
The front and behind.
Yes.
Yeah, they're Yeah.
I love them. Mainly because the dancers, to be able to do what they have to do for those skeletons to dance the way they dance, they have to be very large, and their dance, like, it has to be very like particular, and they're very good at it. And they make the skeletons seem like
They come to life.
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It is one of my favorite parts of the whole show, and it's really good.
Because they spin.
The perk is this year you can meet Miguel between shows too. He's meeting back in the meet and greet area. And they've changed the line, which I think works way better. It's not quite as awkward as it's been in the past.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good choice. But I think that's one of the coolest meet and greet. Like this year, they're nailing it for meet and greets between the ghosts, between
Agree.
Jack and Sally during the day. We didn't even talk about Jack and Sally. They were hilarious too. And,
Jack yelled at me.
well, it happens.
You had a bone to pick.
He did. He hurt my feelings. He said that my hair matched the gate, and it was true! But he didn't need to say it.
He said something so controversial yet so right.
Literally, I walked up. Mr. Daps had met Jack and Sally, and they were lovely, and we had a lot of fun seeing our friends meet Jack and Sally. And then Jack goes, "Oh, and this one's here." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's rude, but like whatever. Like, I guess you're like the king of Halloween Town. You can say stuff like that." He's like, "Hey, everyone, look, her hair matches the gate." And I was like, "I'm embarrassed." Yeah, it does. Okay, leave me alone.
But take the pictures.
But please take the photos of
Yeah.
me. Yeah, it was very fun.
In that gate,
Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
Then everyone stood up and clapped. They gave me $100.
At this point, we're like probably 80 to 90% referential. If you're not keeping up, I'm so sorry.
That'd be an interesting game to play.
We're getting really out of hand. Remember how you said the Haunted Mansion film was very referential?
Yeah.
Are we the Haunted
Have
Mansion
we?
film?
Have
We're
we
the haunted
referenced-
mansions of ourselves.
Just because Jeff has tweeted at us a wonderful Ghostbusters meme.
Ba-do-ba-do-ba-do.
Have we referenced Ghostbusters tonight?
Yeah, you did.
Beyond me? Like, I don't know if I count.
You count.
Okay, I count.
You're literally on the show.
I am?
Unless this is the ghost
Is
of
this,
you.
is this what I'm doing here? All right.
He doesn't know. His programming lets him forget.
Halloween time continues through the end of October. Some of it a little bit further for Plaza de Familia and
Because of All Saints and All Souls and Dia de los Muertos.
Thank
where
you.
You could take your offerings to the ofrenda.
and that also will continue on over in Frontierland, so you can do all of that through the 4th or the 6th. I think it's the 6th of November, but don't quote me on that. Check it out on the website. We've got all the details up there.
Yes.
Other news that's kind of not news, but it is news because it was never officially announced other than Josh Gad basically said it was a thing.
Got it.
Is Josh Gad was working with Muppet Studios on a new Muppet show that was going to be the reincarnation, new version of the original Muppet show. And it was going to end up on what?
No, original Muppet Show's fine. The sequel to Muppet Takes Manhattan is not fine.
Yeah, this is the one I'm talking about.
Got it.
This was going to take that character line and take it. Yeah, I'm still going in the same place. Anyway, this was going to continue on with the original Muppet show, and it was going to take after Muppets Take Manhattan, but it was also going to include apparently guests. And they were going to be looking for Rolf, and it was going to be an 8-episode miniseries on Disney+. Apparently, that's not happening anymore. The funny part about that is it was never announced. So what's not happening was never happening anyway, even though it might be still happening because they might be working with other people. Which is very Muppetish
It is.
Yeah.
when you think about it.
To me, it sounds like Josh Gad got excited.
From what I'm reading and hearing, he actually was working on it. There was an executive change, and the executive also got excited and had a different direction than Josh Gad's direction, so they kind of went,
Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
it's possible.
What if Muppet Babies?
The interesting thing is the person who took over is from Parks Live Entertainment.
Really?
So it seems to me that the future of the Muppets is more live than scripted series or movies. If you have the VP coming from, my thing's not opening, but if you're pulling from somebody of that type of background.
We're bringing the Walk Around Muppets back, boys.
I don't know. I hope not. But anyway, it is Disney Parks Live Entertainment Senior Vice President David Lightbody.
Wow.
And
That's title.
yeah, so but I think it's interesting because
Definitely.
Parks Live Entertainment is very different than TVs or Disney Plus VP or
Yeah.
like there's a lot of different places it could be put. So it'll be interesting to see where Muppet Studios goes in the future. The other show that's the complete impromptu unscripted series that will also have celebrity guests with Kermit and Miss Piggy and all of them is still a go.
Who do you want to see on that show?
That's a really good question.
I'm trying to figure out who I want to see most on that show.
John Mulaney.
Oh, that's a good choice.
He'd be so
That's
good
a
with the
really
Muppets.
good choice. I can't think of anything beyond that. That's really good.
I'm bad at this. I gave a good answer.
You have a great answer.
John Mulaney would be so good with the Muppets. Mainly because he's written for live unscripted television.
Be fun. I'm trying. That's thing. You
Written for
kind
unscripted.
of have to think in the improv vein of things.
Yeah. Like who's in Ted Danson with the Muppets?
That can be fun.
I want to see Ted Danson.
Alex Trebek, just because I've been watching a lot of him.
Alex Trebek with the Muppets.
That'd be really cool.
Has he not been with the Muppets before? I feel like he's
I
been
think he's
around
been on
long enough. He
Sesame
could have
Street.
been.
I think he's been
Yeah.
on Sesame
That
Street.
would make sense.
Yeah.
I'm-
Yeah.
It is hard to think because stuff is so scripted now.
Yeah.
It's not like you go back and people just kind of played on camera and they could just do stuff. And
Yeah.
it is harder to think of who.
Chris Hemsworth. He'd be fun.
Chris Hemsworth
Yeah,
would be very
that
fun.
actually would be my
Chris
number
Hemsworth.
one choice now that you mention it.
Because he can improv.
Yep.
Yeah, really well.
Improv. Acting is reacting.
Comedy
yes, and
sports.
comes in threes.
And really, all the people I'm thinking of are 90s SNL actors.
There you go.
Like, any of them would be fine.
Yeah.
Andy Sandberg would do well.
Andy Samberg would do very well.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jerry Seinfeld.
He drives the Muppets around in his car.
I kind of think Jerry
What's the
Seinfeld.
deal with puppets?
I think Jerry Seinfeld should pick up Kermit the Frog and do a comedian's cars getting coffee, and in return, he has to go on the new Muppet Show. That'd be fun.
Leslie Knope.
Amy Poehler.
Oh, Amy
Poehler would
Poehler,
be
yeah, or Tina
fantastic.
Fey would be great
Amy
too. Now
Poehler
that
or
you mention
Tina
it.
Fey.
I like you
Well-
mentioned Amy Poehler, you have to mention Tina Fey.
Tina Fey's already been with the Muppets though, because she was in Muppets Most Wanted.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true.
Which
In
you
Good
go
House.
further with that, Ricky Gervais would be amazing also.
It's true. Again.
Actually, you know,
I'm number
and
one.
speaking of Ricky Gervais,
We're number 2.
I would really like to see Carl Pilkington on this show because he'd be terrible. Has anybody seen An Idiot Abroad?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I
That
literally
would
was
be-
like, I don't know what you're saying. Yes, I have
I
seen
knew
that.
nobody knows until you're like, oh, that guy.
I
Yeah.
want to see Taika Waititi with them.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yes.
I want to see Kristen Bell with the Muppets. And her husband Dax.
That'd just be adorable.
Together.
That'd be too much cuteness.
That'd be so good.
Who
Because
would
her
be
and her
the?
husband are precious.
There's a
So let's
sloth
flip
Muppet,
this.
right?
Let's flip this the other way.
What?
Who would be the worst person from a like oil
Us.
and water standpoint? No, we'd be fine.
kidding.
Oil and water standpoint, like you put them on with the Muppets, an entertainer that just would not work.
Matthew Broderick.
Really?
You'd be the worst choice.
I want to see.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Um,
Cameron, you can do another
no,
one too.
I'm
What we think?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
Ozzy'd be fine.
I'm trying to think of someone who would take the Muppets too seriously.
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to think of somebody who who is very rigid in their methodology. Like, for example, like
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis would be rough.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be rough.
He has to become a Muppet in the 6 months prior.
He spent a year preparing for this role.
He still couldn't do
I
it.
have stitched the Henson stitch into my arms. He still dresses as Lincoln in my mind.
Yeah, no, 100%. He still dresses Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, who would be bad?
I'm trying to think of who's like a very serious actor that has like no wiggle room. Like they don't.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney.
Not an actor.
No, he wouldn't. No, he
Need
would,
an actor,
he'd
but I
be
agree
bad.
with you.
He'd be bad though. He'd be real bad.
Honestly, most vice presidents wouldn't work.
Most vice presidents. Let's just say, you know what? Controversial opinion. Most vice presidents would not work on the Muppets.
That's just listen. We're just gonna put it out there.
With the exception being
Joe
George
Biden.
Herbert Walker Bush. I believe he would do just fine. He was a vice president before he was president, so
Maybe that's why.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That took a weird turn.
It's like really weird.
In the good category though, Justice Ginsburg would be flawless. That would
Oh yeah, she'd be fine.
pristine.
Yes.
Honestly, I feel like all of them would be fine. Oral arguments are their game.
That's true.
They would
They
work.
would at least be presentable. Yeah.
They're ready.
All of them are still wearing their judge's robes.
They're just
Okay,
riffing.
final bad one. Because we're running out of
This is
time.
hard. I'm trying to think of.
This is a good game, but
Trying
it's
I'm
hard.
trying to think of media that I have consumed.
Dr. Phil.
No, Dr. Phil would do okay.
Oh, no.
In that vein, Steve Harvey would also do well.
Maybe. Maybe.
I think he'd do all right.
Okay.
Oh man,
How would Adam Driver do?
I feel like he'd be all right.
Like I
If
keep
he
going.
has-
I'm going back and forth on this. Like
If he has time to prepare, he's fine.
you don't get time to prepare the Muppets. You show
No.
up and you do it.
No, like if he knows it's gonna happen, because I'm thinking of the Tonys when Beetlejuice the musical called him out for
Oh, yeah.
killing Han
Yeah,
Solo,
that's
and he
true.
sits there like,
You know who'd be bad?
Okay, this is what I want.
Tom Holland. Because he would get so excited
he would.
and he would
Yeah.
mess up real bad.
No, you're right.
And it'd be charming
Yeah,
beyond
it would be.
belief.
It would be
All
great
right.
to watch.
On
Yeah.
that beautiful note.
You should go to thegeekscorner.com if you're not there already watching the show. We have a lot more shows. Most of them happen in the past. Some of them might be happening right now, though. You'll never know unless you look.
Shoot at AskLogic.com. Check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Subscribe to our mailing list and find our Patreon.
And subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We've got a lot of them coming. As always, we're getting much better about
We are.
this. Good job, guys. But that's all the time we have for you this week, so we'll see you around the corner.